What's good?
What up?
Yeah,
What's good?
Can y'all hear
What's
me?
up? Yes.
yeah,
Cool. How y'all doing?
Chilling.
good.
I'm not answering no Tupac questions today. Just let y'all know.
No.
I'm not answering no Tupac questions.
Mm.
I'm popped
Jesus
out.
Christ. I've been popped out.
Mm.
So it appears that Swiss Beats might be cheating on Alicia Keys allegedly.
Really?
Oh,
Wow. Who said that?
You'll never guess with who.
Oh God.
who?
Lala
Offset.
Anthony.
Oh Lord. Are you
You
serious?
cannot be serious.
Wow. Who
But
said?
like I
Who
said,
said that?
it's rumors and shit.
Who said
Cause
that shit?
Mm.
people are talking about on Twitter how she has a song called Lala and
Yeah,
stuff like that on her
yeah.
new
I,
album.
I,
I
I
ain't
know
even
she
finished hear the
has
album.
has that song, but yeah,
Wow.
But I don't think it's true.
yeah. I'm like, really?
But Lala, I definitely think it's true. She been linked to a lot of people.
Shit, Lala Anthony. Yo,
That's crazy.
what's good, everybody on the chat? Yeah, rest in peace, Leonard Hubbard of the Roots. Hmm? Yeah, he died. Yeah. Do you think Redman is the black Eminem?
No,
That's
he's
answers
not.
for you, Try.
No, he's not. Stop
How can he
playing.
be the black Eminem when Redman came first? Like,
Two different artists. They're not the same.
I don't do white music. I don't do fight music. No, that's my other friend in the background, Dante. Oh yeah. But everyone said that Alicia Keys album was good as fuck though.
I ain't finished
Yeah,
hear
I
it.
know. Last weekend she was playing some tracks off that album on Sirius XM.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of her stuff is really good.
Yeah, because I tried to listen to Big Boy's album and I didn't really like the sound. But Big Boy's Sleepy Brown album, I didn't really like a few songs from it so far.
What, of her recent album or one of the other ones?
The recent album,
Oh,
like it sounded like Idlewild, Outkast, and that was like,
really?
yeah. To me, it had like an Idlewild feel to it. To me,
Mm, I didn't get that.
Which one? Alicia Keys?
no, the new Big Boy and Sleepy Brown album.
Oh, I didn't hear that one yet.
East 99. Anybody have a copy of the Creeping on the Come Up EP or no?
No.
I get that tomorrow.
I'm gonna get that. Yeah, they're still available. The
Lucky,
remastered, the remastered one is available.
Yeah,
lucky.
well, so far I got this one and the Resurrection album.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like that too. That one was good.
I just got the E1990 Turner. I need to get Art of War, Resurrection, and Creeping on the Come Up.
Yeah, I need Art of War as well.
Give me 1 second.
Is that AJ in the background? I don't know. What friend did Reg pick up? I don't know if that's AJ.
Yeah, bad.
Reg, can you tell us the making of your latest song?
Get at me. Um, Not at this second. Remove. I'm gonna tell you one day,
Yes,
probably some.
you should make like a documentary for your songs, and they want to know.
Shit. What's up, Sean? Yes, sir. Moonflower asked, "Did you see the Kanye Drake?"
No,
I heard the money's not even going to go to Larry Hoover's family and shit. I'm just like,
Mm.
that's what I heard. Just to make Kanye a billionaire and shit. That's nice. Or trillionaire, whatever. But you know what kills me about this album cover?
What's that?
It's like this member. I think this member right here is just looking at them like he's like the Omega, or like the Wizard of Oz and shit. Is that all the other bone members are just chilling, and this one is just like the
Flex
Wizard
Gordon.
of Oz. Yeah, Flex, like the Wizard of Oz motherfucker and shit. And
Yo,
it always killed
yo,
me
he was
like
incarcerated.
possibly, yeah.
That's why he wasn't with them to take the picture.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Um, Charger in that little tan plug right there. I'm not looking forward for that Ali and the Weekend posthumous song. I'm sorry.
Facts.
Why not?
Oh no, because they have a new posthumous album for Leah and a new single with the Weekends coming out midnight.
It's
Oh,
not a real collab.
Right, everyone's making a big deal out of it and shit. Like, oh my god, the Weekend's about to make history. I'm just like, it's a posthumous. Clearly, I don't know what posthumous is, but you know what? Alright, let me just fix up this thumbnail and shit, and then we are good to go. I didn't know a lot of shit about this album, like E99, to be real with you. So some of this shit's gonna surprise me. But I'm ready to start whenever y'all are.
Let's go.
yeah.
All right. What's good, YouTube? How's everyone doing this lovely, lovely, lovely Thursday night? It's your boy Reg in the building. Got my homeboy Tribe, the instigator, with me.
What up?
Got my homegirl, the first lady Ash, with me.
Yeah.
Got some special guests with me. My homeboy Dante and shit like that. Girl Cece and shit. You know.
What's good?
Yeah, first time here. You know what I'm saying? All right. So today we're gonna do a double review and whatnot. This is the second to last double review. This is the okay. This is the second to last double review that we'll do this year and shit. We're gonna talk about Bone Thugs with the Creeping on a Come Up EP, released in 1994, and their 1995 E99 E1999 Eternal was dropped in 1995. Yeah, y'all should know who Bone Thugs are. We talked about the Art of War album and stuff like that. Turn it down just a little. We talked about the Art of War album just and stuff like that. I think that was like last September. We talked about that. Yes, sir. Which to
Last year.
me, yeah. Which
My
to me,
first 1K video.
oh
Monday,
shit.
right? Crazy.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, this was the only Bone Thugs album in my collection, and this is the first time I'm talking about this. I've had this since like 2010, 2011. No, scratch that. Like 2012, 2013, and shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all should know the members: Crazy, Busy, Flesh and Bone, Wishbone, and Lazy Bone.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we already talked about who they are, but I'm just gonna give you like a little synopsis. They were like a hip hop group that was formed in like 1984. You know what I'm saying? All of them were raised like in Cleveland, Ohio. Actually, scratch that. They formed in 1991, And originally they were known as the Band-Aid Boys and whatnot. But then they dropped their first album. Well, that it's more like a demo called Faces of Death on the indie label called Stony Burke. But then they ended up getting discovered by Easy E and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So Easy E pretty much got them to LA, and that's when they recorded the Creeping on the Come Up and the E99 Eternal.
Right.
Little trivia, and I hate the fact that I'm mentioning this, but I feel like I got to. Um, the signing of Bone Thugs kind of struck a nerve with Tupac, believe it or not, because originally Thug Life was supposed to. He wanted Thug Life, his group, to be signed to Ruthless Records,
Mm.
but Easy he pat. You said what?
No, they wasn't. So get over it.
So Easy he passed on them, but then Pac he felt some type of way when they signed Bone Thugs, and he felt like, oh well, you trying to jack the Thug style or whatever. And so allegedly, from what I looked up, they had like Pac pulled out a gun on Easy or Warren G or whatever and
Wow.
shit, but they ended up squashing that stuff, and they did the classic Thug Love song. So yeah, that part I didn't know. And Easy pretty much renamed them um Thugs and Harmony, and he pretty much gave them like the Bone moniker and stuff like that too. So yeah, man, pretty interesting, pretty interesting. All right, now let's talk about like the Creeping on the Come Up EP. First of all, I mean, this was a very successful EP project in Ruthless Records and stuff like that. This was known for singles such as Thuggish Ruggish Bone and For the Love of Money, which featured Easy E. Um, Thuggish Ruggish Bone featured Natasha on the vocals. Actually, not Natasha, Shatasha Williams and stuff like that. Um, Pretty, like I mentioned, pretty dope album cover. Definitely had that Wizards of Oz feel when I first saw it and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, definitely fucked with the album cover. It definitely has like a very eerie Ouija board kind of feel to it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. And with EPs, they usually are short. So this EP got 8 songs. So let's get this shit started. All right, track number 1 is the intro. Pretty. I love this intro. It sets the whole tone, not just for the whole EP, but just their sound in general, with like the harmonizing and like the slang from Cleveland that they introduce and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, man, I definitely love this shit. Pretty dope intro. I love it.
I think it was dope. You got like the little, the demonic voice introducing each member of the group, and you got the pianos playing the beat. You know, lazy got lazy on it. Cleveland is a city where we come from. Fire intro.
Yeah, definitely a fire intro.
Yeah, I'll admit I like the intro too. Definitely sets the tone for the EP. Definitely a good way for listeners to get to know these guys.
Yes, definitely. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention DJ Unique pretty much produced this album alongside with Easy E, DJ Yella, and Rhythm D. This intro was actually produced by Easy E and Yella, pretty much. So I actually forgot that Easy and Yella actually did some work on this EP. I thought it was just all DJ Unique and shit, but you learn something new every day, I guess. Um, Track number 2, Mr. Ohija. This one was produced by DJ Unique, and you can definitely tell like DJ Unique because he has like the more horrorcore mixed in with like the G Funk, but the way he uses the G Funk, it's like more haunting, more cinematic and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Just like it's not like how Dre or even like Ain't Banks, was doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, but the song itself is pretty dark, pretty dope. It's just talking about like the Ohija boards, and y'all know about the Ohija boards. When you had like the little needle and the letters. I never tried any of that shit. You said what?
The what? The what, Reg?
The Ohija.
The Ouija board, you mean?
whatever they call that.
Ouija board. That's what you mean.
Yeah, Ouija board.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Y'all know what I mean and shit,
Hmm.
Yeah.
but yeah, definitely a very track, very dope track. To me, definitely Lazy Bone definitely did his thing on this one, and that's the thing. I felt like with cats like Flesh and Bone and Lazy Bone definitely did their thing on this EP. Like they were really the stars from a lot of the tracks, in my opinion. So I love it.
Yeah, Mr. Ouija. I want to know my future. Will I die of murder? A bloody murder. I love that. That's like dope acapella singing from Bone Thugs on this
Yes,
really short track. And yeah, that's what they were about. You know what I'm saying? They talked a lot about it on this EP and on E99 Eternal, and just a dope song.
very dope track.
Yeah. Mr. Luigi. Um, it's definitely has that cinematic, sinister sound to it, and then to the guys harmonizing over it definitely made it that much more dope.
Definitely dope. All right, now it's the thuggish ruggish bone. Boom, boom, this the thuggish ruggish bone.
Yep.
Yes, man. This is actually the first single featuring Shatasha Williams, which originally they did not they did not want this to be the first single. Easy E in particular, they wanted For the Love of Money, but Lazy Bone, he pretty much put his foot down. Was like it pretty much introduced this sound. Like this was their nothing but a G thing. This was
Hmm.
their, it was a good day, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
Lazy pretty much wanted this to be the first single and stuff. And I definitely felt like this was the right choice because yeah, man, like even the video itself was dope. Just
Yeah.
everybody in Cleveland coming out and shit. And I definitely felt like when people like Wishbone and Busy Bone definitely had like the best verses and stuff like that. Trying to pull up lyrics right now. I'm gonna do my best and shit, but I love the line when they said, "Roll with the bone, more thugs will follow. Chain gang remaining the same, flaming my dank and drinking brew. Thinking about that hanging, clocking my bank and thugging with trues fools." And then Busy Bone fucking comes out with that. Gotta give it up to the clock clock. Pop pop, better drop when that buckshot blow. Like
Yeah.
Big Busy was like the sticky
Hmm.
fingers of the group. He was the unpredictable motherfucker and
Hmm.
shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Um, my personal favorite member of the group. But yeah,
Same. I mean, him and Busy for me.
yes.
Yeah.
But personally,
Mm,
I'm just gonna say personally, I felt like Busy didn't really come into his own until E99. But I'm gonna explain more about that.
right. Yeah, this is a great song. I didn't like this song when it came out. It was like the first song I heard from them. I did not like it. It took years for me to like actually like warm to this song, but it's a dope song. It had like that G funk sound to it. You got Shatasha Williams on the chorus. Dope song.
Yeah, Thuggish Ruggish Bone is definitely one of my favorites from the group. Yeah, I love Busy's verse the most off this because I mean he just went in on it. I mean, what more can be said about that?
Definitely. I mean, say what you want to say about Busy, but he
Right.
definitely added that spark, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And the group was they suffered a lot once he left that first time and shit. But
Mm.
that's another story for a different day. All right, No Surrender is the next track. Yeah, this one pretty much was like their talk about police brutality and just the drug life that was happening around Cleveland and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And again, another very dope track in my opinion. Um, Coming from the NWA family, you have to have that one song about police brutality and just how crooked cops and shit. So
Hmm.
definitely I love that.
Still a relevant song now with the shit that we going through, and I think Wishbone killed it. Definitely loved his verse, and he said, it really ain't shit to pull a trigger on a copper, cause if I go out, some of y'all gonna die, cause I'm going out popping. Some motherfuck y'all coppers. Let me catch you slipping, nigga. Bet I pop you. Loved his flow on that. You know, he got a dope ass beat, the pianos. Um, you know what's known as auto tune now, they were using back then. You know, classic record.
Definitely.
Yeah, No Surrender, definitely another dope song off here. And of course, police brutality is rampant all over the country. No surprise there. Just the fact that these guys addressed it to it happening in their city is definitely a relatable song for anyone who has experienced injustice by the police.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you about that. Very well said by the both of y'all. Um, Now we're gonna get into fucking down for my thing. Again, another pretty dope track in my opinion. Definitely felt like Flesh and Bone was like the star of the show with this track. You know, especially with the line where he says they need to be shown that bone dome, chrome blown, lay slugs up in them domes. So go on. You'd rather go run a whole check if you want to test nuts with flesh. I'm feeling to lynch ya, mo murder. Like definitely ate that shit. Raw ass fucking shit in my opinion. Love it.
Yeah, this was dope. Nice beat, nice synthesizers on here. Love the chorus. Bang bang, gotta get down for my thing. Love that track. Solid record.
Yeah, even though Down for My Thing isn't a favorite of mine off here, I'll admit it was pretty dope. Not gonna front.
Yeah, definitely a very dope track, man. Now we're gonna get into fucking creeping on the come up. Love this fucking track, man. Um, just pretty much, it's like one of those, hustling kind of songs. Like, it kind of reminds me a little bit of DJ Quick's "Safe and Sound." Just because that track, talking about how Quick was coming up, hustling and shit like that. Just gaining respect. You know what I'm saying? It just has that vibe with it. And I felt like Bone Thugs definitely did that thing with this one and shit like that. Yeah, definitely love this. Unique did his thing on this beat too.
Dope ass record. I love Crazy Bones verse when he said, "I've been living on the dark side and I can't escape. Some say it's a phase. It's a maze. Only way for survivors if I play my gauge. It's a raid. Put your face to the page. We try to play brave. We get slayed. Take down them shades. Empty your pockets. Watch them gaze and you'll be saved." I love the chorus. Stroking gap fools. Stroking jack fools. Love that. That also was played. They played that at the end of the For the Love of Money video.
Yep, I remember.
Yeah, classic ass record.
Yeah, Creeping on the Come Up, I feel that it's a relatable track to anyone who's hustling just to get by. I'll admit, I liked it.
Definitely dope track, dope track. All right, now my favorite song off this album, "For the Love of Money."
Mine too.
Yes.
Yep. Now technically, I have a little confession I gotta make. This was really the song that made me a fan of Bone Thugs. Because when I first heard Crossroads, and I'm gonna say most of my thoughts when I talk about the album, but I feel like it was just pretty cool. But
Mm.
everyone loved Crossroads, but this was my shit. Like
Mhm.
just how
Yeah.
everything from like Shatasha singing, and then Easy E put out his best verse in his whole
Yes.
career.
Gotcha.
Actually, scratch that. It wasn't Easy. It was Jewel who was singing this track too. Which I'm gonna explain that because originally this was not originally Bone Thugs' song. Originally,
Right.
it was actually recorded first by a ruthless act called Yomo and Malky,
Mm-hmm.
and they had an album from '91 and stuff like that. And they had this version of "For the Love of Money," which I'm not gonna lie. I heard that version. It was cool, but Bone Thugs version was the definitive version even to this day. The album I'm talking about is called "All You Experienced." It came out in '91, by the way. And speaking of Easy, I felt like Easy's verse was like the best verse he's ever put out and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so much quotables on this. Like now now my fat sacks of rocks. Hell yeah, I stuffed them. Police on my drawers. I had to pause and yeah, it's still motherfuck 'em. Now my game is tight. As fuck is my game. Easy motherfucking E or Eric Wright is all the same. Now niggas might trip on how I stacks my grip. I gotta have it for the love of this shit. Motherfuckers!
Yes.
Yes, classic. And I have to speak on one. If I have to pick one favorite Bone verse, it will probably be Busy Bone and shit like that. I feel like Busy did that shit like window got me thuggish ways, done on my crime every time, follow me down, the nine. Like this just all came together, especially with Joel singing.
Yeah.
In my opinion, the best Death Row singing next to Nate Dogg. In my opinion, I mean, this is just a classic, a hip hop classic. And the video itself is classic too, man.
Easy definitely killed it. Definitely. When he said standing on the corner straight slanging rocks. Oh shit, here
Oh
comes a
shit.
motherfucking cop. So I dash, I ducks, I hide behind the tree, making sure them motherfuckers don't see me. Classic verse by Easy E. Rest in peace. Um, I man, if I would have loved to hear like a Bone Thugs and Easy E record like album together, then that would have been crazy. That was definitely needed at that time for for West Coast hip hop and yeah, everybody else killed it, but Easy E's verse to me was like really the standout verse on this song.
You gonna fuck him up that day.
Love it.
You gonna fuck him up that day.
Mm. For the Love of Money definitely is an unforgettable song.
You, you should have brought that scrap. You had that
I
with you.
mean, everything from the chorus to Easy E's verse. I mean, and it's quotable at that because even I heard the audience singing along to it when that verse is happening too. So yeah, but my intro to Bone Thugs started when I heard them on the song "Breakdown" with Mariah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was my intro to them.
Yeah, man. I love that breakdown song. And that, if I'm not mistaken, that was on the Honey album.
Butterfly.
Butterfly, yeah.
Yeah.
Butterfly, yeah.
Yeah. Which we never talked about no Mariah albums. Well, actually,
We did
we did a
the
break.
discography, yeah.
Yeah,
We didn't
shit.
talk about the albums though.
God damn, man. I guess I was trying to get a few more Mariah albums, and I think I got a good amount now.
You
So,
slacking, Reg. You want to talk about Nelly
Yeah, I
and
got a
shit?
good amount of.
hey, okay. Yes, I talked about Nelly. I talked about Nelly.
Hmm.
Yes. Hell, if we have to do a whole February, well, a February Mariah
Mm,
month.
February.
Cause,
That's dope.
'Cause I was thinking of talking about Mariah in December, but I'm just like I've heard too much Mariah this whole month
Yeah.
too, so it's just like
Motherfuckers been going crazy about it.
right, and it's crazy too because it's like, and I hate to go off topic when it comes to Mariah Carey, it's like that's what she's known for now. But I'm
Hmm.
just like, give me the self-titled or
Yeah.
talk about her music, not just that Christmas album. Like, yeah, we get it,
Right.
but
On some
come
parallel
on.
shit.
Like, and she dropped two Christmas albums too, but I never heard the second one. So
I never heard it
Me
either,
neither.
and I
Me
and
neither.
I, I only I only know "All I Want for Christmas Is You" from her first one.
Right.
I haven't listened to
Right.
that entire album.
right,
Yeah,
Yeah, man. But anyway, that's pretty much all we have to say about because the outro. I'm not even gonna talk about the outro of Mo Cheese because it's pretty much for the love of money with the guitar and
Continue
stuff like that. Yeah,
continuation of it.
which was cool. I'm not
Yeah, I
gonna lie.
liked it.
Yeah, but not too much to talk about. But otherwise, this album is a hip hop classic to me. Again, it's one of those '90s EPs that I definitely would put in high regard. This I put this on the same level as maybe like NWA's 100 Miles and Running, Cube's Kill at Will, Pete Rock and CL Smooth's All Sold Out. You know those levels and shit like that. And like I said, it's still available even to this day. If I'm not mistaken, didn't they have an issue with E99 where they had this as bonus tracks? If I'm not mistaken, while I was tripping.
With the EP,
Yeah,
there's bonus tracks.
because I could be wrong, but or maybe I'm just confused with Niggas for Life. But I could have sworn they added this album as bonus tracks to E1990 Eternal, but I could be fucking wrong. Shit.
Not for the OG joint. Maybe the remastered joint.
Got you. Okay, but yeah, this is a five mic
Yeah,
masterpiece.
definitely. Um, you got a intro on here. You got an acapella joint. You got an instrumental joint on here. You got dope ass, horrorcore tracks. The production was great. The rhymes, the songs, even the singing. Definitely loved it. Five mics for me. For the love of money, down for my thing. People on the come up, all classic for me.
Yeah, this was my first time hearing Creeping on the Come Up in its entirety, and I've only known two songs, which was Thuggish Ruggish Bone and For the Love of Money. But now that I heard this EP fully, I definitely feel that it was a very good introduction to who Bone Thugs are. Everything about it was just good, from production to who they had working on the project. Definitely, definitely put out something
I
groundbreaking.
don't even remember thinking of stuff like that. It was just like,
Yeah, this was definitely a groundbreaking EP and stuff. Now moving on, 1 year later, they gave us the appetizer. Now it's the full course meal with this album, E1999 Eternal. Damn, I thought you had this one.
I had it on cassette. I don't have it on CD.
Oh damn. Okay. Okay. Um. Well, this album came out in what's the date? What's the fucking date? July 25th, 1995. Of course, on Ruthless Records, it came out with three singles. First of the month, East 1999, and the Crossroads. Um. It also came out with videos for like Buddha lovers and stuff like that. DJ Unique, Easy E were executive producers. Tony C and Kenny McCloud also helped with production. And the only guest appearances were the Poetic Hustlers and Graveyard Shift, which Poetic Hustlers, they were affiliates of Bone. You know, they were a group from Ohio, and Graveyard Shift was part of the whole Mo Thugs family. Oh wow, I never knew Source gave this 3.5 mics. That's crazy.
They got
But
it
anyway,
wrong.
hella wrong. I would even accept it 4.5, but damn. But it's crazy because not a lot of people were used to that style that they were doing. And
That's
shit,
why they
which
were dope, because they were different.
yeah, definitely because around this time too, a lot of cats like this was like the beginning of the whole Midwest tongue twisty. I call it the whole Bone Thugs Wars. Like New York had the Roxanne Wars, Midwest had like the Bone Thugs Wars or whatever.
Right.
Because a lot of people were kind of jealous that they were making success at the whole fast tongue twisty sound. Because at this time you had like Twister, who was known as Tongue Twister. You know, he was of course in the Guinness Books of World Records for like the fastest rapper or whatever. Of course, 3 6 Mafia. They pretty much was like the biggest. I think both them and Twist were like the biggest people when it came to Bone Thugs, because they came out with that "Live by Your Rep" and shit like that too. Because and then also around this time too, Bone Thugs said some shit about Southern rappers, I think like in the Vibe magazine or whatever, which caused Tommy Wright Tommy Wright to drop that fucking thuggish ruggish busters on them and shit. So they were pretty much, a lot of people were just mad that they were jacking their sound, or they were getting popularity from that. And then also around this time too, Easy E passed away from AIDS around this time, which you guys should know. And so
Yep.
it pretty much, they had, of course, they had the remix of the Crossroads, which we'll get into that in a minute, because what people fail to realize even to this day was that the popular version was not the original version, because the original version has like a more darker
Mm-hmm.
feel to it, and it kind of sucks too because this version, I don't have the original version on this track right here. This is the reissue that I have. And so Ash,
You
do you,
prefer the OG one?
well, I mean, I prefer either or, but I know that there's some people that have some issues have both the OG and the remix and shit. But
Yeah.
do you have the OG on yours, Ash, or no?
Um, I
The,
think
the last
so.
track should be, yeah, the last track should be the remix, the bonus track.
Yeah, man, because they have like the remix in place of the original on mine, so that's how I know it's to be issues. But it's
Oh,
all good.
mine don't have the remix.
Yeah. You gotta
Oh
get the
wow.
you gotta get the import one. The import edition has both of them. Cause the bonus track is the remix.
Oh wow. Shit. Definitely. Okay. Well, if I get that, it will probably be on vinyl, which that will probably be rare as fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
They have it on
saying?
CD.
Oh,
Yeah.
they have it on CD.
Yeah, it's on CD.
Okay. Bet. Bet. All right. Say less. All right. So yeah, man. That's CD collectors, man. That's one thing we have to worry about.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing about this album was that it actually was in the nomination for the first hip hop album Grammy Awards and stuff too. Which I mentioned this before. It had Tupac's "Me Against the World." Oh Jesus. Old Dirty Bastards turned into 36 Chambers. Skilo, I Wish.
He shouldn't have been
And
nominated. He should
you
have
said
been out of
what?
that shit.
Yeah, well, the
Probably should have
Grammys
been out.
really did not know what they were doing at this time. So, well, they still don't know. But
They
hey,
still don't know.
they had an excuse when they first started. So, but they all lost to Naughty by Nature's "Poverty's Paradise," which
It's a good album.
I, it was a good album. I like that album,
Good
but
album.
if
I don't
I would
I don't
either
know if
give
I'm
it
putting
to
that over E99 though.
or Me Against the World either.
Yeah,
So
me again. That's a to me that's a better album than Poverty's Paradise.
right, the older you bastard, like they
Who that?
neglect they neglected like Cuban links,
Crazy.
which is interesting.
That's
I
why I
mean,
said
no,
Skilo should have been out of there for Cuban Link.
yeah, because like Return to the 36 Chamber, that was a good album. I love
Right.
Shimmy Shimmy Y'all,
Right.
Rawhide. I love that, but I would think only if Only Built was released today, it would have been definitely nominated for Grammy.
Jizza Liquid Swords that should have been nominated too.
Well, that was released late '95. I think like November of '95. So I think that missed out the
Yeah,
cut
missed
date.
the
So
cutoff date.
yeah, but yeah, man. Let's take you. This is the album cover right here. It looks like they're in fucking hell and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Shit. You know what I'm saying?
well,
Yeah, man. East 99, not the land. See, and I was listening to Bone Thugs ever since this whole fucking verses and shit. I just had it stuck in my fucking head.
Right.
Like, and it's one song that I'm gonna go really crazy over in this video and shit. But just to let y'all know, and like y'all should know, they named it East 99 because of the neighborhood, East 99th Street and Sinclair Avenue and whatever. Yeah, man. Anything else I have to mention? I think I mentioned everything. So 17 tracks. Let's get this shit started. Track number one was the introduction. Love this fucking introduction. You know what I'm saying? I love the sample that they use. They use the dramatics in the rain sample, which a lot of people has used. In my opinion, I feel like Biggie used that the best with Somebody's Got to Die and stuff. So definitely very, very dope. Love like the eeriness of that whole fucking song, whatever. Yeah, man, they all did their thing on this one. So yeah.
This is great. Real creepy intro. You got a woman
Yeah,
screaming.
shit.
You got people speaking in
Shouldn't be all that run.
words. You got like thunder rolling in the background. Devil laughing and everything, and it was real creepy, and it set the tone for the album. And I love the chorus: execution double nine style, steadily sending body on the ground. Love that chorus, and yeah, this was dope. I love the beat. Like definitely a dope introduction.
Love that introduction, man. Love it.
Yeah, the intro was pretty dope. I had no idea that they sampled In the Rain. I had no idea. It definitely had the intro. Definitely does have that that dark, eerie undertone to it. And it's kind of like you're expecting something to happen, but you just don't know what.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I track number two, we got East 1999.
Hmm.
Um, one of my top favorite songs off this whole album. You know, just Bone Thugs telling motherfuckers like where they're coming from and shit like that. So this is the thing I never knew. I never knew Flesh and Bone wasn't really signed to Ruthless. You know, by the time this album came out and shit like that, I think he wasn't on contract. So this is like he only appeared 5 times on this whole album and shit. So I never really noticed
Oh,
that.
Well, he
Yeah,
and he
dope.
acted like that on several albums. Like he was only like on certain tracks, and sometimes you see him, sometimes you don't.
Yeah, man. I definitely hear what you're saying. And plus, he was in and out of prison, I think, around this time too. So,
Right.
but yeah, this was definitely a fire, fire, fire track.
I love the video for this too. Like when they like each of them when they doing their verse, they're like levitating, and you see like the doctor like conjuring up spells and shit. I love the video was dope. Banging track. Wishbone to me again had the best verse. He said 187. You think that you're going to heaven? Put slugs all in that chest, and now hell is well you be dwelling. Loved his flow on that. Lazy. I liked his verse also. Love the chorus. Each 1999, 99999. Love that shit, man. This is one of my favorite songs on the album. Definitely a classic record.
yeah, East 1999 definitely is one of my favorite tracks off this album. Pretty much, it gives people a chance to know exactly where these guys are coming from. The street that they grew up on. Pretty much, everyone just went in on it with each verse, and definitely a dope track.
Very dope track indeed. All right, track number three, Eternal. Very, very dope track. On my video game has it unique used the Eternal Champions video game like theme music and stuff like that,
Right.
to fucking make this fucking beat. I mean, I always love video game samples
Mm-hmm.
in music or whatever and shit like that. So as evidence, that's when we talked about DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, Rock the House or whatever.
Right.
Um, but yeah, man. Again, Busy Bone definitely came out hard on this one right here. Like lines with the one he said, "I'm one of the thuggish motherfuckers in your city, and I'll be strapped back, ready, ride, ready to pat pat in broad daylight. Chill with me, roll, roll, roll to the boneyard, hit the hydro, like shit like that. I fucked that line up, but fuck it. Yeah, very dope track.
Love it. Love the beat. Real eerie melody. Love the chorus. Keeping them on the run with my shotgun. Fire. Fire track.
Yeah, Eternal definitely is a dope song. I feel like it's a follow up to East 1999. And yeah, definitely Busy blew me away on this track.
Yeah, man, definitely. Like all the members came out strong, but I feel like Busy again was like a standout member in a lot of these tracks and shit. Now we're gonna talk about Crept and We Came, which pretty much was a sequel to Creeping on a Come Up. But like with this one, it kind of has a more darker, especially with the harmonizing and like that little whistling sound in the background that Unique definitely did and shit. You know what I'm saying? Definitely a very dope standout track. Again, this whole album is banger after banger after banger. So yeah,
Yeah, I think it was dope. Definitely a banger. Love the beat was knocking. Busy Bone, I think he killed it. He was dope on the chorus and he had a great verse. Classic record.
Crept and We Came definitely. It definitely does have a dark undertone to it, and yeah, I agree with Reg. It definitely is a sequel to Creeping on the Come Up, and overall, pretty dope track.
yeah, very dope track. Now the next track is Down 71, The Gateway. Now, when it comes to Bone Thugs and Harmony, a lot of people don't really say storytellers when it comes to them because, well, they were hard to follow. Their style was hard to follow to tell the stories. But with this track, they told a story about how Busy Bone was pretty much, he was arrested by the cops and whatever, and he was about to be sentenced to death row. But then, the members, Lazy and Crazy, they wanted to like bust Busy out of prison or whatever. So they bust him out of prison, and then they ended up, taking the cops on a fucking shootout or whatever, and they ended up, freeing Busy Bone and shit too. So it's pretty much, you can pretty much call it about police brutality, but it's like it's like their version of Dr. Dre's "The Day the Niggas Took Over." That's the best way to put it. And again, this was one of my all-time favorite tracks off this album. You know what I'm saying? I feel like both All Busy, Lazy, and Crazy definitely came out strong with this one, in my opinion.
Yeah, dope. Definitely a hard track. Nice beat. Hi hats. You got organs playing on it. Really one of the best songs on here.
I definitely feel that a lot of tracks off this album, yeah, they do tell. These guys do tell stories, and I kind of got the gist of it listening to Down 71, The Getaway, because yeah, I could, yeah, just by listening to like the dialogue throughout the track too, I kind of got a sense of it being about police brutality and all that. But definitely, they're kind of cryptic when it comes to storytelling because you really gotta just pay attention because I know a lot of people can't really follow with their flow.
Man.
Yeah, most definitely. I was kind of surprised that they were telling the story with this song because as many times as I kind of listened to this track, I
Mm-hmm.
never noticed that they were actually telling the story. So I was like, okay, so
Yeah,
interesting.
and it would make sense.
All right, track number 6, Mr. Bill Collector. Whew, man. Now we're really getting into some heat right here. All right, so the interesting story about this track. So originally, Easy E was featured on this song, but according to Busy, he said that the group was mad at Easy. Well, mostly Busy was mad because he felt like Busy wasn't like when Easy wasn't returning their phone calls at one point, and they pretty much owed Easy money, like you know how studio and shit, and they didn't have no food. So pretty much, I think Busy wanted to say like that they should take Easy's verse out and have like make an executive decision, but they ended up patching it up Easy E, but I say he died of AIDS or whatever. So yeah, they still and the verse is still on YouTube, but it's not the best of quality. Just to let y'all know, but yeah, definitely something interesting. But the song itself, Mr. Bill Collector, love this track. To me, it's the precursor to First of the Month, in my opinion. So, I love that they call me Mr. Bill Collector, need me money. I love that chorus and shit like that.
Yep.
Crazy Bone, first for he definitely set that shit off right. Love the line when he said, "Give me all my change, it's a murder thing." Now, even in the dummy game, niggas coming up slaying for collecting they claim. Like, definitely a fire ass joint.
Yeah, very nice track. Love the beat, the synthesizers on it. Crazy to me, Crazy and Busy had the best verses on it.
Yes.
Definitely a dope record.
Yeah, Mr. Bill Collector definitely is definitely another one of those songs that does tell like a story in a sense. And I did not know any of what was going on with them. With I mean, Busy having an issue with Easy, and then Easy having a verse, but it wasn't featured on here. Yeah, I find that surprising. But yeah, I definitely feel like this song is a build up to first of the month, and I kind of wish they would have, I guess, had the track listing to where after this first of the month will be the next one, just to make it flow better.
Yes, I highly agree with you on that. Now, Bud Smokers only. Oh my god. My second favorite track off this album to me. Very dope usage of the Earth, Wind and Fire Reason sample.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Bone Thugs coming out with them choruses like "Bust Smokers on lead, Bust Smokers on lead, Bust Smokers on lead." And I like how they were going along with the fucking beat and shit like that. And
Yeah.
like it was just like a little playful ass song, and then Wish coming out like some niggas be passing that weed on to them thugger niggas of Finland that smoke till it's all gone. Now with a bone, cause a nigga be creep on. Like that's a fucking hot joint in my opinion. Like that should have been a fucking single in my opinion. But
Right.
yeah, man, this album was already too good and shit. So yeah, definitely a very, very, very catchy song. And it
Yep.
took me a while to realize that they sampled that Earth, Wind, and Fire song because ironically, Master P, he used the same sample for the intro to the 99 Ways to Die album, which the way he flipped that sample, man, y'all have to listen to that for yourselves and shit. But
Right.
definitely a very, very fire joint.
Yeah, I love the beat and the bass line for it is real catchy. They again they doing they harmonizing. I think that was like one of their strong points. When they harmonized, it was real catchy to follow along to, and yeah, definitely a dope ass record.
Yeah, but smokers only. Yeah, I know the first time I got a chance to hear this song was during the verses, of course, and I didn't know they sampled Earth, Wind, and Fire until I was listening to it again. I was like, oh, okay, I recognize that sample, and just the fact that they were able to flow and sing along to that beat, it definitely kind of took me by surprise. And I'll admit, it's catchy. And I agree with Reg. It could. I wish this could have been a single.
Hmm.
Yeah, man. There's like pretty much a lot of songs I could have wished there was a single on this album and
Mm-hmm.
shit. Like,
They had a
but
lot of
yeah, man,
good stuff on here.
definitely. All right, now we're gonna talk about the Crossroads. I'm just gonna talk about both the OG and the remix, cause depending on the different version Mean actually has. So the OG version is like a more darker, pretty beat, and originally they did the song, because of the fact that they had a dead friend named Wally and stuff like that. But then once they were finishing up the album, Easy E had passed away, so they wanted to remake like the song. But then they wanted to use the fucking Isley Brothers "Make Me Say It Again"
Mm-hmm.
sample, and so I think the European release, they had that song as a remix, and then it ended up being very popular, and so that's when they decided to make that song as like the third single, and this was the song that really made them into superstars. Like it was actually their best selling single. It won them a Grammy for best rap performance by a duo or group. I mean, it was just definitely to say the least, it's the signature song even to this day, in my opinion. Yeah, man. But if I was to pick which version I like the best, I'm not gonna lie. I prefer the remix better because the remix definitely added on that. It solidified Bone Thugs like the whole. Because I know people want to say they're like this gangster rap gospel group, or it solidified their sound
Mm-hmm.
that no one cannot really copy and shit. That's the best way to put it. Because I remember you had that conversation about crucial conflict,
Right.
about how you said you weren't really a fan. You felt like they were Bone Thugs wannabes and shit.
Yeah. Didn't care for them.
um,
I think for the remix, it was more lighthearted from the original version. It was more darker, and that was like the first time like they came out with like a single that was like more lighthearted, and even the video was just that's one of the best videos, man. Like um when that video starts off with like the all the women
Creepy.
singing, yeah, like all the women singing in the church, and then like the music comes on, and you had like the black guy, as the Grim Reaper, and just coming to take like different souls, and that video is like one of the best videos ever. Like that might be their best video ever, and I think that's what really put America on to Bone Thugs. I mean, that would be their signature song for mainstream. I don't think that's their signature song as the group, but for mainstream America, that wasn't listening to Creeping on the Come Up, and they wasn't hit to them like that. I think that would be like the song that they recognize for them, or the Mariah Carey breakdown song. But it's definitely a dope remix.
Yeah, I'll admit, Crossroads, definitely another favorite of mine off this album. The first time I heard this song, I was a kid, and I don't know if someone in my class at daycare had this on cassette, or one of my teachers had it on cassette, because I don't know who had it, but I just know that someone had this song on repeat on the boombox that we had down there. And that was my first time listening to Crossroads and hearing it, and someone had it on repeat. And my album does not have the remix, so I got
Okay.
the OG version of
OG
this
copy, yeah.
album. And it's definitely a relatable song for a lot of people who had to deal with the loss of either a friend or a family member or just a loved one in general. So
Right.
it's definitely a classic track.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, and I can see how it plays a toll on people when it's the lost people thinking about lost ones and shit like that when it comes to this album. And then, mind you, next year they lost Pac, they lost Biggie, and shit like that too. So I can tell
Yeah.
us,
And then Aaliyah, Left Eye, and
yeah,
so on and so on.
yeah, because they were going through like a lot of death when they were doing this old album too. So that's another thing too when they were working on this album. So that probably pretty much played a toll. And you can pretty much feel the emotion
Yeah.
with this whole fucking track. I'm gonna miss everybody. I'm gonna miss
Miss
everybody.
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 Boom,
I'm gonna
boom,
miss.
boom, boom, boom.
Boom, boom, boom. I remember that one Wayans Brothers episode
Mm-hmm.
when
Yes.
Marlon had his whole "It's a Wonderful Life" moment,
Mm-hmm.
and
Right.
then
And then
Sean,
Sean was like his guardian angel.
yep, and then at the end, Sean did that little dance. I'm not gonna miss everybody. I'm gonna miss everybody.
Right.
Yeah, I even remember an episode of Key and Peele, and they did like a little spoof of Bone Thugs when they're like Bone Thugs and homeless.
Shit, that was pretty cool too. But yeah,
Yeah, but at first I thought at the end of of that sketch, I thought the actual Bone Thugs were gonna show up.
And couple weeks ago, SNL did a Bone Thug skit. Like after the verses was over,
oh wow,
that Saturday they did like a whole Bone Thug skit. We had like Keenan playing like one Bone member, and I had some other members playing Bone Thugs. I was like, that was hilarious.
oh wow, okay,
Mm.
shit. Alright, track number 9, Me Killer. This is just pretty much a skit, just pretty much talking about Me Killer, drug dealer, scandalous nigga. Nothing really too much to be real with you.
I liked it. That whole that again they singing me killer, me killer. I love that. Though they just showcase like how they could harmonize on like different tracks. You know what I'm saying? And they did it with ease. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't hard for them. You know.
Mm. There really wasn't much to really go on this skit, to be real.
Definitely, definitely. Track number 10, we got is the Land of the Heartless. This track to me was pretty solid for the most part. Love the beat from Unique. Definitely again captured the whole dark feeling, that dark underworld kind of feel. You know what I'm saying? I love the core. High techs and khakis when Jack and sawed off. Not one of my favorites off this album, but pretty solid song regardless.
Yeah, it was dope. Definitely a dope theory track. Love the beat for that. I think Crazy Bone killed it. Dope track.
Land of the Heartless, I'll admit I wasn't really too fond of it. But even though it has that sinister, dark undertone to it, like several other songs that they had, mm, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, I definitely hear what both of y'all are saying and shit like that. It's just like one of those middle of the road album songs in the album itself,
Yeah,
and that's
it's
pretty
not
much how
really memorable.
right, and that's pretty much how I feel about fucking No Short No Losses. Again,
Same.
very dope track, and they all did their thing. But it's not like again one of my all-time favorites on this album and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's kind of crazy too because it's pretty much with Crazy Bone. It's Crazy Bone. He's pretty much talking about how motherfucker was just talking about stealing their style and stuff like that. In this whole song, and it's kind of like predating what we would see on the Art of War, especially with the song like Look Into My Eyes and stuff like that too. The line, especially with the line where he says, "My niggas, so how could you ever compete with the trigger, bitch? If you decide you want to show some of this now, bite one bid, and nigga, we coming to cut ya. Every day be the same old, still gotta flip the same hoe." Like pretty solid track. You know what I'm saying? I definitely loved how he flipped that and how he went in on that.
Yeah, this was a dope track. I love the drums on it. The synthesizers. Flesh and Bone to me killed it. He had the best verse.
Yeah,
Dope,
no
dope track.
shorts, no losses is it's not a bad song, but it's just not one of those ones that would really grab your attention like that. And plus, it's not a memorable track either.
Right.
Yes. All right, now track number 12, First of the Month.
Yep.
Again, another one of the most iconic songs
Hmm.
that was also nominated for a Grammy Award and stuff. I think it was nominated for best rap performance or whatever, but I'll find out who won later on. But yeah, this was a very dope track. When it comes to the first of the month, it was just talking about how the welfare checks come to the neighborhood, and you gotta look good. Just smoking weed, having barbecues or whatever. Like this was like their Ice Cube's "It Was a Good Day" and stuff like that. It's the first of the month. Get
Wake
up,
up,
get up.
wake up.
Yes,
Cash
like
your checks and get up.
yes, classic, classic, classic joint. I hated when the game and Chris Brown we did this for the fucking celebration track.
Oh God,
Oh my god! And they
they
over.
really did.
Yeah, you didn't remember that track?
I never heard it.
It's like it's
No,
a celebration. Let us say hi. Like it was just
no,
it was bad.
no. I did not know that until now.
But yeah, this
Was
this
it
this.
really that bad?
I mean, it was a successful song for the game, but I personally did not like. And I think Busy appeared on the remix or some shit too. So
Oh wow.
yeah.
Hmm.
That's crazy. That's a dope. That's a classic record. I mean, this song and For the Love of Money got me into Bone. You know what I'm saying? Like when I heard this song, I bought the single for it, and then I bought the album later on. But yeah, it's a classic record. It's a feel good record. People in the hood can relate to the first and the 15th when you get your checks, and even the video like where they like all like on riding in the car. You got Crazy Bone on the top of the hood of the car, and he's just like chilling and rhyming, and the hair blown in the wind. It's a classic record.
Yeah, first of the month is definitely one of my all-time favorites of Bone Thugs. Just everything about it, just from the video to the chorus, um, just everything about it is just so dope and so memorable. And of course, with the first of the month, besides people who are on welfare, who go to cash their checks or get their checks, it's also first of the month is when certain bills are due, like rent.
Hmm.
But yeah, definitely an all around classic that I never get tired of.
All right. Yeah, definitely very very dope shit. All right. So this is the next song that I might go a little crazy for. My favorite
I
song
honestly
off the
thought
Sora album.
you, I honestly thought But Smokers Only was the one that
Right.
you would
Yep.
say.
Yeah, that's my second favorite. But this track right here, Buddha Lovers, very dope track. Okay, let me get this out there. Yes, this is the song where Busy had that fight
He's
with Three
singing.
Six. Yep. Yeah, that fight at the verses and whatever. This is a song or whatever, but 'cause I think that's why everyone knows the song now or whatever. But fuck
Hmm.
it, this is my favorite track off this whole album. This is when they sampled the Isley Brothers "Choosy Lover" track brilliantly. Way better than how R. Kelly sampled it. Even though I did like how Kel sampled that shit too, but
Hmm.
again, that keep hitting that reefer, send me
Send me
straight to
straight to
heaven.
heaven.
Keep hitting that reefer,
Reaper,
send me
send me
straight to
straight to
heaven.
heaven.
Keep hitting that reefer, send me straight to heaven.
Heaven.
Keep
Fire.
rolling, smoking,
Smoking
and
and
choking.
choking.
Buddha love
Love us.
us. Dun,
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 dun.
dun.
Gotta learn to
Gotta learn to
smoke
smoke
the
the Buddha.
Buddha. I'm so glad you
Showed
showed me crazy lazy
lazy.
wish flash. Yo, yo, I could go on and on, but this whole fucking track. It's one of the best weed smoking tracks ever. And then every fucking line was like a chorus, like
Mm-hmm.
smoking that hydro, you smoking that hydro.
Yes.
You should. I got your phone.
Oh yeah.
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 Yeah, but yeah, this was a very dope track. Um, Busy definitely did his thing, and crazy with like the deeper register coming in and stuff like that. And then don't even get me started with the outro with that boo to love, like. And then they had a video to this track too,
Yeah.
where they were just
I
doing
did
some
not know
stupid.
that.
Yeah,
It's
they were
actually
doing some.
it's on the greatest hits DVD.
hmm They were doing some fucking stupid shit. Like, first of all, Busy was trying to offer this nigga to smoke, right? And then the nigga was with his girl,
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
and he was trying to front like he don't want to smoke, and he was like, "You don't even have to be like that." And then motherfuckers shot him with the water gun or whatever, and then
Mm.
they robbed the fat nigga, and the fat nigga was chasing them in a fucking van or whatever. And then they added this little like kickback or house party, and the whole video was so trippy and wavy. That's probably my favorite Bone Thugs video,
And
hands down.
they all look high in the video, especially Busy. He look
Yes,
high as fuck in that video.
I don't blame them and shit, man. Like
She got a
that
phone.
whole video was just iconic in my opinion. Like
Yeah.
everyone loves the Crossroads, but that I would take Buddha Lovers. I like the low budgetness
Mm-hmm.
and just niggas having a good time.
Yeah.
Like back when people used to put thought in music videos. Now it's just like you just have some sexy ass light skinned or some brown skinned girl who weaves and shit like that,
Mm.
Right.
twerking or whatever and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me a house party music video these days.
Right.
Like, I think the last good house party music video I can remember was Sierra's Body Party,
Mm-hmm.
which that was the beginning of Sierra and Future, but we're not going to talk about that right now. But yeah, this was a very hot joint in my opinion.
Yes. Classic. This is like a melodic rap ballad about
Yes.
smoking Buddha. And when I heard it, I was like, yo, I can't believe what I'm hearing. Like I never heard like a rap group do a song like this before. And the video was low budget. It was like, black and white at some points, and you could tell they were like just starting off. They were high as fuck in the video. Their hair was like all naughty and shit. But I love it. This is like classic Bone Thugs to me, and they all harmonizing in key, and it was great.
Mm. Buddha Lovers. I mean, it's a track that I just really wasn't expecting. I mean, just the fact that okay, for one thing, I honestly thought they sampled Keith Sweat's "Right in a Wrong Way." To be real, just the
Mm.
I guess the beat sounded somewhat similar
They
to
did
that.
too.
Oh, they did.
They used both Key Sweat and Isley Brothers.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to be sure because I was like, was I hearing things or not? And just the fact that they sampled a little bit of the Isley Brothers to this song too. I was like, oh wow, I really didn't think they were going to do something like this.
Right.
It's like they were trying to be on that R&B tip while rapping. That's the best way to sum it up. Especially Busy.
I gotta say one more thing. I love the intro. I love the intro where it's like it's the niggas night out tonight. Oh, love that shit. Just gets me hyped every time.
This nigga.
Mm,
But yeah, Buddha Lovers definitely a very classic joint. And it's funny how Ashley you said that because somebody said that the best Bone Thugs is probably the only rap group that can make murder sound peaceful and shit.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, man. And speaking of that, we get to Die.
Mm.
Love this fucking track in my opinion. Fucking Busy Bone whispering like, "Shut up, nigga. Shut the fuck up." You know, shut the fuck up, nigga. Yeah, man. Very dope joint, and it's just Crazy Bone with that soft, like baritone, like that talk about pop dropping them niggas with the Glock gun. Like, ah man, shit, it's just fucking very dope track. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Right.
But again, Busy Bone again coming out strong with the verses like nut bucks and guts, nigga mistaking them balls for dogs. All niggas get mauled, no thing to pick up a pole to flip on all y'all. Like definitely love how he was flowing on that track, in my opinion. Very dope joint.
Yeah, it was dope. Nice beat. You know, the bass line was hot. I liked it.
Mm. Die, die, die. Oh my goodness, what a title. Um, yeah, it was just one of those songs that I just really wasn't sure what to expect. It's just the fact that you get the whole whispering and telling someone to shut up, and then it's just okay. Like, what direction is this going? Are they going up and off somebody right then and there at the beginning of the song, and then get into it, or what? I just really didn't know what direction they were going with.
Yeah, definitely hear what you're saying and shit. Now I'm gonna talk about the Mr. Ouija, whatever you say, how he's called that shit.
Mr. Ouija boy.
Mr. Ouija too.
Mr.
Mr.
Ouija boy.
Ouija, Mr. Ouija 2, which yeah, like a sequel. Skit, very dope. Way too short in my opinion. Just pretty much, them, practicing that shit, trying to predict their fucking death, if they would die from murder or whatever. Very, very, very gory, very trippy as fuck, you know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Yeah, that was a dope ass skit. Again, like I love they singing on it. Ouija, are you with me? Motherfucker, trying to murder me. Like, love that whole harmonizing my bones. It was dope. It should have been longer, but you know,
Yeah, Mr. Ouija too. For it to be this continuation from the original from Creeping on the Come Up, I really was expecting it to be a little bit longer than what it was. Cause like, okay, you just pretty much gave us like a real snippet of it. It's kind of like you left us wanting more out of it. And then too, I don't get what the whole big deal is about those Ouija boards and people like fascinated with that. I never got understood that.
Sometimes people use that to tell the future and stuff.
What are their demise or just
Sometimes the demise, or sometimes just the future in life, if they'll have happiness or whatever.
I thought that's what them 8 balls before, like when you shake it up.
Well, people use different things to see the future, so you'll be surprised.
white people. What black
Mm.
people don't use that shit. That's white people shit. I don't know any black person that plays with a Ouija board.
Latoya Jackson.
And besides her,
What about Latoya?
Remember when she was a psychic? Her and Dionne Warwick at one
nigga was
point.
a damn psychic. Come
They
on,
were.
they was not.
They were practicing the whole psychic shit.
I did not know none of this. I
Well,
must
is it?
wait.
Look,
What? When did that happen?
Dion, yeah, I remember Dion as a psychic. What's fucked up about it is if she was such a psychic, why she couldn't tell when Whitney Houston passed away? Wasn't she like related to Whitney Houston?
You
Or
know
like her
what?
godmother or some shit like that? Why you
You,
couldn't tell when Whitney was gonna die?
you know what? I'm not even
What
gonna.
year was this?
That
This
was
is the
like
'90s.
yeah, like early '90s. That was
What? Early '90s, mid
yeah.
'90s, late '90s?
That was I heard about it like 90, 91, like around there. You know,
I must have been too young to
back
not
when
know any
Miss
of
Miss
this because
Cleo
I don't
was real big
remember
and shit when she was like the world's
none of
greatest
that.
fucking fortune teller. You know,
Deja vu. Mm.
Yeah, I don't remember none of that at all.
Yeah, yeah. Call me now, Miss
This is
Call Me
news
Now.
to me.
That fake bitch, Miss Call Me Now, fake Jamaican.
Yeah, she was a fake Jamaican too. People forget.
Mm.
All right. Um. Next, now we're gonna have his Mo Murder. Um. Pretty much a dope track, very dark track indeed. This track and the next track, they were throwing shots at the Dog Pound and stuff. Cause Crazy Bone, he said a line. He said, "Gotta find these roll holes in the song." Yeah, he just said he gotta find these roll holes and whatever. But he had another line pretty much where in the next song where he said some other shit. But yeah, this one was a very dope track. You know, one of those peaceful murder tracks, from if you can say.
Yeah, it was dope. Like the beat, the synthesizers real dark. You know, I didn't know they were taking shots at Dog Pound on it, but definitely a great track.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Mo Murder definitely another dark track from this album. Cause I know like with the whole chorus, it kind of made it sound like it was somewhat demonic too. But I already got the gist of what the song was about, and I honestly didn't know the next track was a straight up diss to the Dog Pound.
Yeah, because back at that time, Ruthless and the Dog Pound, I mean Death Row, had that infamous Ruthless, their beef or whatever, and of course Bone Thugs got caught up in that shit. Cause the Dog Pound had a song from Dog Food where they called Bone Thugs Hoes in Harmony or some shit
Mm,
too. So yeah, so they had to get back at
They
them.
wasn't fucking with Bone.
Hey,
right.
They wasn't fucking with Bone.
shit, because mind you, they came out with that "What Would You Do" track where they were dissing the fuck out of BJ Knockout and Dresta, but I'm sorry, but BG Knockout and Dresta came out hard with that DPG Killer. Whew, ate that shit, but that's another story for a different day. Ronnie said dope usage of the Boosie Brothers band I'd rather be with you. Oh wow, they use that sample too, definitely. Alright, next track is the Shots to the Double Glock. One of the darkest tracks off this album, and this is actually the last track of this album on my edition.
Yeah,
It's
it's the last track on mine too.
yeah, this one was like a posse cut with Poetic Hustlers and the Graveyard Shift, which I'm not gonna. I don't know too much about them besides they were affiliates with Bones. So if y'all fans in the chat, let me fucking know what to recommend or whatever. But yeah, it's kind of crazy too because um the dude Mo Hart, he was in jail when this song was recorded, and pretty much Sin from the Graveyard ship confirmed that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Um, I definitely felt like when it came to the Bone members, Crazy Bone and Flesh and Bone definitely did their thing on this one and stuff like that too. And Lazy Bone was the one that was pretty much saying at a cut where the thugs and hustlers roam, Cleveland Brown, Dog Pound Hoes is on, pretty much and shit like that. So yeah, man, they were pretty much ready for war, but they ended up squashing their beef because I want to say Corrupt and Snoop appeared on Crazy Bones' first solo album and shit. So yeah, man. But if I was to pick an album between Dog Food or E99, I would pick Dog Food over E99. I'm gonna be real with y'all.
Yeah, best album.
Yeah, only best.
Yeah, yeah, it was a great track. It was dope. You know, great way to end off the album.
Mm. Shots to the double Glock. Yeah, I mean, I knew that there had to have been an in-depth story or whatever with this song here, but I just didn't know it was a diss to Dog Pound. And then two, I'm not familiar with Poetic Hustlers and Graveyard Shift. I never heard of them. So you will.
Yeah, I never heard of them either. I know Q said their first album is really dope. You should check it out, and their second album as well. Oh wow, you heard that shit? Okay.
Hmm.
Um, Ronnie said I agree with Veg Dog Food over E99. No, just yeah, 'cause I just felt like the production on Dog Food and with the mixing of Dre alone, it was definitely a couple. I mean, E99 was good, but Dog Food production wise was just on another level. But overall, this is a hip hop classic to me. A very, very, very good album. One of the best from 1995. This album pretty much like was just them, just doing what they do best. I definitely felt like all the members on this album definitely showed out with this one. Busy definitely was just a standout member with this track right here. Because, like I said, I've heard like a lot of people say when it comes to the Art of War album, a lot of this tracks, catered more to like Crazy Bone and shit like that too, and stuff too. Which some people like that album, and some people kind of criticize that album too, which I don't understand. But when it comes to this one, this was the album where Unique's chemistry with Bone Thugs also played a huge part in them too. So definitely a very solid joint. I would give this a 5 mics.
Definitely great album. Very love the production and the songs, the harmonizing. This is like horrorcore at its finest, man. First of the month, Buddha Lovers, E99, No Shorts, No Losses. The introduction was fire. Classic album.
I would definitely give East 1999 Eternal 5 mics as well. Just a lot of memorable stuff off this album. Timeless classics such as Crossroads, First of the Month, you know, and More Murder, and a lot of other not so popular tracks that were pretty good
Right.
were But Smokers Only, Buddha Lovers, Mr. Bill Collector, you know, Shots to the Double Glock. I mean, this album definitely is an all around 5 mic classic.
Yeah, very very dope review. Both Bone Thugs works right here and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Definitely love this. Um, I'm gonna stay on for a couple more minutes. Q said, "Did you hear Dr. Dre appeared in the video game and he got a new song with Eminem?" Yeah, I heard all the songs Dre did for Grand Theft Auto and shit. Some of them were good. Some of them, we'll talk about that. But yeah, I've been hearing that shit like all day and stuff. Shit. So Ashley, did you see that video I sent you about the children's songs being racist?
No, I haven't got a chance to watch that yet.
Ah, shit.
I kind of had a feeling certain kids' songs, I mean, that I've heard when I was a child, I knew there had to have been some backstory, but I just didn't know that they were, I guess, considered racist.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like what they got our children listening to and shit. But
Or
anyway.
what they got them singing.
Mm-hmm.
We would not have known that.
Nope. Yeah, Ronnie, I already heard the first of the month Primo remix and shit. Appreciate it.
That was alright.
Yeah, I did. That's one of my least favorite.
Yeah.
The beat sounds more like Compton's Most Wanted and shit like that too. Cause I know he did some
I
shit.
didn't think the beat go with their flow on that remix though. You know what I'm
It
saying?
did. It
It was too
did.
slow. It was too slow for them.
Swiss Beats trying to do Bone Thugs versus Wu Tang.
They don't
Nah.
what's happening? You can't really put no crew against Wu Tang because they would all lose.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. Come on. I guess little Kim and Foxy Brown ain't gonna happen.
Out of all the artists, is that the best they could do? It's like how many times you gonna see Wu Tang on these verses?
It's either Wu Tang or Jadakiss, man.
You know what I'm saying? It's like but put Jada against Wu Tang Clan in, you know?
Please find my shit, Luke. I'm leaving here alone. You a fucking dumbass. I want you leaving me alone.
Yeah.
Find my shit, please.
Ronnie said, "Who was the star of E99?" I mean, there wasn't really no star of the whole album and stuff like that. I personally just felt like Busy Bone had a lot of standout quotables and shined a lot.
I think Lazy and Busy for me, like they should win on both.
Mm.
Same.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I heard about the former bass player of the Roots and stuff.
Yeah, Huggy.
What do you think about Dr. Dre and Eminem flow now?
And why would be
I
fucking
mean,
good? Find my damn
pretty
shit.
much,
Not mine.
pretty much, the Eminem flow. He was just using the same flow he's been using for the past 5, 6 years and shit. So it doesn't really bother me too much and shit.
Cisco against KC. I ain't watching that. I don't even
Yeah,
think Drew Hill could beat them. I really
I
don't.
I heard about that shit too. I'm just like niggas. I'm good on that.
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely,
Crazy Bone killed all the war, definitely.
definitely yes.
Yeah. But yeah, I would definitely I'm about to definitely end off this video right now and shit, cause I gotta take these guys back. Ronnie said, "How about the Roots versus Tribe Called Quest?
Tribe,
Tribe all day,
Versus.
definitely.
Tribe all day." Um, definitely. But yeah, appreciate this Ash, appreciate this Tribe and stuff like that.
What is going on?
My hats fell,
Your
my
hat fell.
snapbacks fucking fell out of nowhere and shit. I'll get that later, but Sunday it's gonna be the continuation of the Tis the Season to Be Fresh. Tis the Season to Be Fresh or whatever. Or we'll talk about the end of this corner and stuff, which that's personally my least favorite album originally, but that might change, that might not. And then the week after, we're gonna finish off talking about what Code Red, which that's Tri's least favorite, but that's my favorite. But
Okay.
yeah, but other than that, hope y'all have a good night, and I will see y'all later.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.